Hey guys, my name's McKinley. I'm a record collector. I've been collecting for about 5 years. Me and my friend are in the process of opening up our own record store. Hopefully, that will be open this year. Um, the closer we get to that, the more details I'll release. But for now, I just wanted to share the records I've acquired so far in 2025. I haven't been able to go to an actual store yet, so these have all been records I've acquired online, essentially. So, first one is 1991 release is the Apple Creation, the Instant EP. Now, I don't know much about this. When I'm ordering and buying stuff, I always tend to buy things that I've never heard of before. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. This is not too bad. Like I said, from 1991. I think it has, let's see, it has two songs on each side, but it's more along the lines of indie rock. I think from time to time it touches on the electronic music. It wasn't a bad listen. It wasn't my favorite, but it was still a good buy for the price it was. The second one, I'd also never heard of these guys. Crawlpappy from 1990. I believe they were from New York, I want to say. And this is some pretty hard rock. This is pretty hardcore stuff right here. And I don't know much about these guys either, but it's a really fun listen, and it seems to be a really, really good record. Let's see what label it's on. This is the inner sleeve. And not really sure. But awesome. Awesome listen. If they have more records, I will most likely be getting more Crawlpappy. Because that's the early 90s heavy and hard rock. Love that stuff. Love that. Second one, 2018 release, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And I always have trouble pronouncing this album name. Polygonal Wonderland is really awesome. The color of the vinyl itself is insane. See it right there. I don't know if this was a limited press type deal or if they all look like this, but it is awesome. It is sick. And King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, if you never listened to them, it's like a modern day psychedelic rock. Pretty good. This is not their best album, but it's still a really good listen if you want to check it out. And these next two, just absolute essentials. So, 10 years after, A Space and Time. I think, everybody's collection is different, but if you're into rock and roll, this is just a killer one. Especially if you're trying to get into the early 70s rock. 10 years after is always a safe bet. It's just fantastic. I don't know if they're just on Columbia Records. I got this for, I think it's $6-7, and I'll pay that every day for 10 years after. This next one, also an essential. Oh, excuse me, I had something fall down. The Best of Buffalo Springfield retrospective. This not as heavy, not nearly as heavy as 10 years after. Not calling them a heavy band, but this is more along the lines of country rock. I hate to specify it to that, because some people might not do that, but it is just on the yellow Atco. I love that label. They always put out good stuff. But the steel guitar, especially on, I think it's Kind Woman. Kind Woman is just so good. And Bluebird, the guitar work on that is insane also. Buffalo Springfield is, one of those essentials that I would have to say, especially the best of retrospective. All right, this next one, don't know anything about him really. I bought it on a whim. It's still sealed. I've checked out one or two other songs on YouTube, but I'm excited to crack this open. But I don't have too much to say about him just because I don't really know much about him. And that's Brass Monkey. And Brass Monkey released this in 1971. But I know the first song up there, and I don't know, they didn't write it. You Keep Me Hanging On. I really like that song by Vanilla Fudge. I don't know if Vanilla Fudge wrote that either. But songs up here, side one is Sweetwater, You Keep Me Hanging On, Goodbye Birds, All Fall Down, Strange Days. Side two, Keep a Little Bit Back, Stay With Me, Baby, Proud Mary, Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down, and Sing Sing Sing. And this is psychedelic rock, and that tends to be a genre I lean to the most. And I'm really excited to crack this open and listen to it. Alright. This one is just fantastic. And I had never really heard of this band until I just happened to stumble upon them on YouTube. Pulse. Pulse released this in 1971. It's self-titled. Take this out. This is a gatefold record. And this is a psychedelic blues rock, just banger. And when they get to honking on that harmonica, it is just something else. And it's on a really cool label that I have not purchased yet. I've never had anything from Poison Ring. Poison Ring Records. And that's one that, I've listened to this one a couple times. And it gets better every time. Alright, this one was sealed when I bought it. This is a repress. I don't know what year it came out, but I believe this is a 2018 repress. This is Psychotic Reaction by Count 5. This was released, I believe, let me see, 2018? 2018 repress. I don't know the original year of it coming out, though. But this is, it's like a psych rock, garage rock band. And they got some killer harmonica. And this is a really, every song they got's real in your face, punching you with everything they got. And that's really awesome. And this is on Craft Recordings. That's also one that on YouTube, they got maybe one or two songs up there, but other than that, you don't really know much about them until you get it. And I saw it, and I've been wanting it for a while. It hasn't been something I've, been looking for, but when it popped up, I grabbed it. This band, I didn't really know anything about until about 2 months ago. The Music Machine. This is also a repress. This was released in 1969, but this is a repress, and I don't know when this repress is. And this is still sealed. And the stuff I've heard on YouTube is killer. It's hard, it's heavy, and hard and heavy. And 1966, hard and heavy was a completely different thing than it was even in 1970. But the first song up there, even though I've liked what I heard, the first song is CC Rider. And that is probably my least favorite song that just about every band seems to do a cover of. But I'm excited to crack this open, listen to it, and the guy's vocals are just so out there. And the fuzz guitar, nasty. And this one is one that if you watch vinyl videos, you're gonna see this pop up eventually. The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Now, this came out in, I think, 1968. And this is, I got it just because, I wasn't dying to get it, but everybody else got it. I was like, it must be good. And everybody was saying it was really out there. And it is. It is really out there. It's still good, though. It's good psychedelic rock. And this is on the Track Records. This is probably a VG copy. Hopefully I'll be able to upgrade that eventually. Because I do enjoy it enough to go get a better copy. But Arthur Brown, wild card. Absolute wild card. Anything you get by him, I think is going to be just a roller coaster ride. I bought this on a whim. I don't even know how to pronounce the guy's name. I believe he is Japanese. Kiyoshi has Goa. Excuse that pronunciation. I know I just tore that up. And this, oh my gosh. This is a absolute beautiful record. This is folk rock. It's basically just him and his acoustic guitar. And this is just something you can cut on and relax. I have no idea what he's saying. But man, it sounds good. And this is on Philips. I believe that Kiyoshi record came out 1969, 1968, somewhere in that ballpark. And this one, when I really got into collecting pretty heavy, I'd say is about 3 years ago. This band popped up on YouTube, and they are just kick butt, man. This is Mosaic by Crow. And this is not one you're going to hear people talk about much. And I don't really understand why. It is super good. And every time, it's not that I haven't seen it for sale, but every time I see one for sale, it's pretty beat. And this one's in pretty good condition. This is on I don't know how to pronounce it, the record label, but just really awesome band. Again, killer harmonica, killer vocals, more the bluesy country rock. Gots to have the blues. I bought this on a whim as well. This is not really my favorite genre at all. But listening to this record is opening my eyes up more to the genre. It's not one I hate. It's just not one I want to sit down and listen to. This is the Yellow Balloon. Let me take that out of here. And this album is that, I believe that this came out in 1967. Yellow Balloon is sunshine pop. So, really big genre. A lot of people like it. Not my favorite, but this is good enough to where I think I want to dive into it a little bit more. And this is on the Canterbury Records. Oops, sorry. On this side, it's that way. It's really, really good. Let's see what kind of songs are up there. Side 1 is How Can I Be Down? Stained Glass Window, Baby Baby It's You, Panama Red, I've Got a Feeling for Love, Yellow Balloon. Side 2 is Good Feeling Time, Follow the Sunshine, Springtime Girl, Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Junk Maker Shop. And I didn't know what I was expecting. I didn't pay too much for it, but I paid more than I would have if I knew what it was, if you get what I mean. You know, for Sunshine Pop, I wouldn't have paid, anything over probably 15, 20 bucks. But in this case I did, and it's going to stay in my collection because I, enjoy it that much. But, yeah. So next one, also just like Mosaic by Crow, has been on my radar for a good minute. This is Krabby Appleton. And this came out, let's see, I had it written down somewhere. This is Krabby Appleton. Now this came out in, let me see, I got it written down somewhere. If you see me looking down, it was kind of hard to remember when all these came out. This came out in 1971. And this has got some really cool guitar on it. This is more along the lines of prog, I would say. I don't really dive too much into the prog very often, which I should, because there's a lot of prog bands I like. But it's on the Elektra. This is a radio station copy. I didn't know this was a promo. That's really cool. But that makes me like it even more. But it's a really sick guitar on this. I don't know much more about their albums. Like I said, these are just records I've gotten this year. It's only January 6th, so I haven't had too much time to dive into each one. But the first song is Go Back, The Other Side, Catherine, Piece by Piece, To All My Friends, Side 2, Try, Can't Live My Life, Some Madness, Hunger for Love, How Long Will It Take? Really awesome record. Really awesome record. Let me get that over here. Alright. Now this one, I love Private Press records. And I love things that you just don't see every day. And this is definitely one of them. And this is not one that probably many people are after. Zorro and the Blue Footballs. This came out in 1979. And this is a Private Press record. And it's pressed on Burdette Records. Now, from what I've researched and stuff, Zorro and the Blue Footballs used to open up for Frank Zappa and the Mother's Invention. Now, they fit perfectly. They are like the perfect opening band. They are funky, weird, jazzy. It's like Lowell George and Little Feat. Lowell George used to be with Frank Zappa anyways. But it's like a perfect mix between Little Feat and Frank Zappa. It's silly. It's lighthearted. There's nothing too deep or prolific about it. But it is a really good listen. And I'm glad I got my hands on it. I'd never heard of them before, and this is really cool. This record, next, is the last one that I got. This, oh my gosh, is soul-snatching good. And I don't know much about them. I should probably have done a little bit more research before I started talking about all these records. But this is one that I have listened to probably 7, 8 times already. The Moon. And when you look The Moon up on YouTube, they have one song that pops up. I think that's their first song on the record, called Pirate. And that is probably the least best song on this record. And that's what the back looks like. This is it's soulful, it's deep, it's got great guitar work. I don't know too much more to say about it, except get your hands on it. If you see it, buy it. That's The Moon. By the Moon. Like I said, this is my first video. I've been wanting to start doing videos, vinyl tags, vinyl hauls. This is the first haul of the year. But I'm gonna get better at it. Like I said at the beginning, we're also opening up a record store, brick and mortar. Me and my friend are doing that, and once we get closer to time, more dates and more things will be released about it. We're still kind of in the adolescence, we're still getting inventory, grading, fixing buildings and stuff. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Just give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about these records, if you know any of them. I'm sure you do, because I'm still pretty new to the whole collection thing, but I'm gonna get better at it, and hopefully I'll be putting out more videos. Thank y'all.